Now John Cena building momentum, second rope. What the?
Pro Wrestling Bits. Subscribe now.
For about 5 months, WWE was treated to one of the most polarizing big moves in the history of modern wrestling, because its biggest star, John Cena, began experimenting with the Springboard Stunner. Though a great worker in his own right, Super Cena is often criticized for his reliance on the 5 moves of doom during his comeback sequence. The 2 shoulder tackles, the spinout powerbomb, the 5 knuckle shuffle into John Cena's finisher, the attitude adjustment for the pinfall victory. Cena even added a tongue-in-cheek 6th move of doom in recent years, but now we're getting ahead of ourselves. John Cena's first Springboard Stunner happened during John Cena vs. Rusev at WrestleMania 31 in 2015. During the climactic moments of the match, Cena shocked everybody by springing off the middle ropes to hit an awkward yet somewhat impressive Springboard Stunner on Rusev. Despite getting a good reaction and being the first time Cena used the maneuver, this was not the finish for the match. Instead, Cena ultimately won using the AA. The Springboard Stunner comes from the Cutter family of finishers, which spawned the Diamond Cutter, the RKO, and yes, the Stone Cold Stunner, made famous by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Unfortunately, Austin was among the most vocal critics of the Springboard Stunner, lamenting the fact that Cena never won a match with it.
First of all, it's obviously reminiscent of the Stone Cold Stunner, but here's my biggest beef with it. It's such a dynamic move, and it requires such precision and timing because his foot could slip on that rope.
Right.
Guys are wearing baby oil, they're sweating, anything could happen. So that move is very precise. But when you hit that move, I mean, why don't you establish it and get a couple of 3 counts out of it?
Right.
So then when Rusev kicks out, or whoever kicks out, if they do, it means something. So he could have had another ace up his sleeve had he actually beaten people with it.
Austin was clearly annoyed by the fact that his finisher was being bastardized, and rightfully so, but if it makes Steve feel any better, there might be scientific reasons behind why the Springboard Stunner isn't as effective as the Stone Cold Stunner. According to Lucha Labs, shout out to them, the Stone Cold Stunner delivers maximum damage to the C7 vertebrae by converting potential energy into kinetic energy immediately after recoil. Kayfabe, of course. In other words, nobody's kicking out of the Stone Cold Stunner unless it's WrestleMania. But as kayfabe science points out, the Springboard Stunner isn't nearly as effective since John Cena loses momentum by moving in the opposite direction before delivering his stunner. In other words,
Didn't get all of it.
Austin, who had a great point, wasn't the only critic of the Springboard Stunner. Cena's shaky execution of the move led many to question whether or not he should be using it in the first place. The move was a fixture in Cena's open challenge matches, which was also arguably the best stretch of wrestling of John Cena's career. But occasionally, more than occasionally, Cena's US title matches were blemished by a botched Springboard Stunner. In matches against Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Seth Rollins, WWE announcers often had to cover when the move wouldn't connect, saying things like, "just barely caught him," or even the old reliable, "didn't get all of it." But whether it did or it didn't connect, the move would always get a reaction. When it did hit, it looked awesome and only got better depending on who could sell it. Rusev was always one of the best at taking it, if not the best. But when it didn't hit, fans were all over Cena, and as he had his whole career, Cena took it all in stride. Cena last used the Springboard Stunner in one final botched attempt at SummerSlam 2015 when he struggled to connect with Seth Rollins. And just a few short months after debuting the controversial move, John Cena quietly retired the Springboard Stunner. The Springboard Stunner was a great move adopted by a great wrestler that ultimately produced mixed results. It happens. 2 great things don't always produce great results. Just ask the Viking Raiders. Shout out to them. If and when he ever makes an in-ring return, hopefully Cena continues to find more luck with his 6th move of doom or the Lightning Fist. Just don't expect Roman Reigns or Bobby Lashley to lay down for it.